Hello and welcome back for another vibrant episode of We Talk Podcast. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. Like I used to say, all my guests are special. He's a multidisciplinary artist. He does a bit of everything, and I want to know how he does. Ladies and gentlemen, We Talkers, I've got Louis Akinwale on the studio.
Hey, blessings, my bro. That was a good intro.
How are you doing, brother?
Blessings.
Just keep it short and concise, yeah?
Yeah,
How
good,
are you doing,
man.
brother?
Life is good. Everything blessed. Honored to be here.
Yeah.
Ready to conversate and just, really, push forward the conversation.
I feel happy to see you. Sorry, guys, it's Louis, but I like the Lou because that's one of his definition of one of his brand, and we will talk about it later. And we know you as a model. The first thing that we see is like Louis as a model. Tell us about how did that modeling career started?
I started modeling around like maybe 8 years ago. So I went to uni in Nottingham. I was studying broadcast journalism.
Oh, okay.
Doing radio, TV. And then I went traveling for 3 months or so. And then in my final year of uni, I got scouted at a rooftop party,
Why you guys? It's only at parties you get scouted.
Yeah.
I got my previous guest here. He was scouted also at a concert.
It's always the way,
Okay.
So I was a big raver, and then a scout just approached me and said, "Listen, I haven't got a business card, but we work for this brand for London Fashion Week. We've been watching you. Like, we think like you'd make the part." So I was contemplating, should I model? Should I do this? Should I do that? Anyways, went to the casting, done the show, and then just been modeling ever since,
But you never intended to be a model, right?
I got scouted a few times at Oxford Street when I was 16.
Yeah.
I started quite late as a model at 23.
Okay.
It just kind of aligned for me, and then I worked a lot in Milan, in London, in Paris, in Germany, and it just kind of just took off from there, really.
Things may happen, So what do you remember your first show? I've heard in the backstage you were like tripping.
Yeah, my first show.
Was it Nigeria or anything?
It was a Nigerian brand.
Was it orange culture?
Yeah, you've done your research. Wow. That's in the archives.
How were you feeling at that time, brother?
Yeah, no, I remember so overwhelmed.
Okay.
Because but on your first show,
you opening the show again.
Yeah, but it was wild. You hear all the cameras, and the agency didn't teach me how to walk.
Okay.
So I was even surprised to be opening it. You know?
Yeah.
So as I was walking, all you hear my heart was just pumping.
Oh.
I was thinking, don't slip. I was walking like a robot. But I feel like it was catalyst, to gain experience. You learn. Preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
So for me, it was kind of getting my reps in.
But how was that first experience? I mean, what you said, yeah.
I don't know. It's living a dream. I remember reading magazines or seeing fashion films. It's I'm actually here now.
Exactly.
And even to rep a Nigerian brand. Where I'm from, and who's on the come up. And it was their first London Fashion Week.
Yeah.
It had meaning. So it had great significance, and to open it, bro, it was an honor. You know what I mean? So, and that was my first show.
Yeah.
So it was.
And from there,
great.
those are the things has been picking up. Yeah, you've been working for big brands, Prada, Alexander McQueen, I think as well. I mean, many more. I can't mention it. If you go to the page, you will see the jobs, bro. So that's very happy. And when you started modeling career, has any of the parents interjected on that?
No. Well, I grew up as an only child. So my mum and dad, honestly, they're like my siblings. And growing up, I played football, rugby, swimming. They took me to all extra curriculum classes.
I even heard that you're even doing karate.
Yeah, karate.
I'm like, bro. Nowadays, anytime I go outside, I go with Louis. Because it's anything,
bro, self-defense, man, necessary. My Nigerian parents, they wanted me to learn, innit?
Okay,
so, I can count in Chinese, all of that,
So, I mean, actually you were doing karate?
Yeah, fully, bro. I got trophies.
Nigga, don't play around with this guy. If you see my outside, you would just...
Yeah, no, I'm peaceful, but bro, when it's on site, it's on site.
On site, bro. Yeah?
So, my parents would always support me. And, as an only child, they wanted to keep me busy. So, in whatever I've done, they've really, fully injected the creativity, whatever I do, they support it all hands. and just push me to the best of my ability, you know, which is quite different from Nigerian parents.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, growing up, they want you to be like lawyers, doctors. But for my parents, they just said, yo, listen, you know, when your vocation's here, it's here, innit?
And wait, your parents were based in Lagos at that time?
In Lagos, yeah. They
yeah.
moved to London in their young, early 20s.
Okay, so you grew up a little bit in Lagos and moved to London?
Well, no, I grew up in the UK.
In the UK?
In East London. So pretty much like born and bred London.
Definitely.
But I spent a lot of time in Italy.
Exactly.
So yeah,
parlare italiano?
Parlo italiano.
Sì,
Come
va
stai?
bene, tutto bene, grazie.
Perché italiano?
No, it's fake.
Bro, it sounds so good, bro.
We Talk Podcast.
I mean, that the things I've left home early, around 18.
Wow,
you know,
young.
so I went to Ghana. From Ghana, I went to Nigeria. You know, I live in Lagos. as
No
well.
way,
bro.
damn,
Don't joke
you've
with me.
lived, bro.
You know. And from there, I moved to Cape Town, and I came to London. So, but
Wow.
I was talking to my previous guest was saying like, been living in different places also make the personality that you are.
For
Because
sure.
you are open minded,
Therefore.
and you're able to understand every kind of situation.
Definitely.
Yeah, you are kind of like hustler and all that, and you are like just
For
there,
sure.
yeah.
I feel like when you live abroad, you kind of adapt and you learn
Exactly.
culture, you know, the pace of the culture, the way of living. And for me, it's like, bro, I really immerse myself. You know, when I was like living in Italy, like if I didn't know anything, I was like, I asked them, like, how do you say this? Or if I like the sound of something, I practice
Of course.
it. You know what I mean? I learn in real life.
Because I also know that you like music, you know.
Yeah, cool.
You like music, so all that effect of music, and I've got to know that you were used to listen to like how does let me just play something for you, just a minute. I think it could be a little. Let me try you a little bit.
Oh god, what's you got up, man?
let me see that. What's that? I hope I still have it in the mind.
Oh, the pressure.
Wait. No, don't tell me I don't have them here. No, yeah. I played this.
Hey,
Do you know this artist?
Labada?
Okay. Yeah, play something again. Do you know the name of the artist?
Yeah, Labada.
Are they
Or
sisters?
Tony Allen. Oh, the La Judah sisters.
Exactly,
Hey,
exactly.
bro, yeah, fair enough. Man, done his research. These are like famous Nigerian artists in like the 70s. You know, like proper punk rock, like African rock. You know, the two twins. And in Nigeria, if you have twins, their name is Taiwo and Kehinde.
Exactly.
But legendary, you know, like all that punk African music. This is the era, you
So
know.
I can see you do a lot of music for kind of inspiration as well, because in the background I've seen that you listen to a lot of music and you take inspiration from music and from the street and everything you see, and that makes you a very multidisciplinary artist. You know, apart from being a model, you are a creative director, yeah, and a designer. I don't even the do all, you know, and all that. So I think we're gonna talk about more of your other side of creativity after the break. Let's drink a bit of water. I think you started, but I'll get mine soon. I'll catch you.
We Talk Podcast.
Yeah, welcome back to We Talk. We are currently with Louis Akinwale, you know, multidisciplinary artist. He's a model, he's a creative director, and he's a facilitator as well. We're going to talk about that, you know, and a curator. Yeah, you get it. So, well, but now we're going to start about Lou by Lou, which is a Lagos-born atelier dedicated to innovation and craftsmanship, founded by him, of course. So we're going to talk about it, you know. Louis, tell us about Lou by Lou.
Lou by Lou. Yeah, you've just had the nail on the head.
That was
you
the
know?
English. That was the English description, brother. What is Lou by Lou? Yeah, tell us the story of Lou by Lou.
So it was founded just after the birth of lockdown. I saw a bag in the kitchen, in my mum's kitchen, and I was like, whose bag is this? And she, my sister's making these bags. I was like, oh, right, these are really cool. And then, I don't know, I just started like looking at the bags, so maybe they can change the shape, change the silhouette. And then I wore it to like a barbecue, and then like all my friends were like, yo, this bag is incredible. I was like, oh, maybe I could start making these.
Yeah.
And then at first I was like, oh, like, how am I going to start making these, you know?
So you just mentioned something. You wore it to a barbecue. That makes one quality of the bag unisex already.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's just like how you wear it.
Exactly.
So, and you know, with the people who I hang around with, they can appreciate the art like that. And then, yeah, I just kind of looked at Dior in the 80s, Chanel's, in the 90s just to kind of get inspiration. And then from there, you know, started designing more, taking references, building my storytelling. It took a while to really like produce, but I really had to like learn how to do it because it's all self-made, you know. I didn't learn how to design,
Exactly.
but I just really focused on like what is really good about the product and what my team can do, and then amplify it. And then Lou by Lou, it's all about creating jobs and opportunity for my people back home. You know, obviously coming from Nigeria, we really want to endorse our people. You know, we're paying for healthcare, paying for education, we're providing skilled labor, and you know, it feels like quite good, the fact that, you know, having access to British currency, you can do so much more back at home. So bringing it back home, you know, is what we're trying to do and amplify more. So that's what it's all about.
We want to come back to the history of the brand again, and we read somewhere that the first name was called Shifting Seas.
Shifting Seas, yes.
And tell us also the impact of the name of the brand through your dad. Tell us about
Shifting Seas. So that was a very turbulent time in my life.
Exactly.
You know, I lost my dad to cancer. And that time it was kind of like a time of self-discovery, you know, and I titled it Shifting Seas, from about my dad transcending from the earthly world into heaven. So I shot the campaign all on movement, you know, so it's just all fluid, you know, and full motion. And with that story, you know, it kind of impacted in many different ways, you know, and it got featured in a few magazines. It just got translated so well, and that was like my first ever campaign, and all my friends, they come together to support it, you know, and that's what it was all about, like shifting seas, from like transcending from the earthly world into heaven. And even through like business, you know, from just being a model to starting my own business, it was that shifting seas, you know. There's a saying in a book, you think you're on solid grounds, but you're on shifting seas.
Exactly.
So it's always like just shifting, you know. It's a whole level of movement.
Yeah, it's very good to know like the background, the story of any brand, because we tend to think that when people just bring out something, an article, they create something, it's just based on like pleasing people. But it's good to know there's a story, and that deep meaning at the back of that can make people even feel more inspired about the brand. And I think that's what you wanted to portray in that, you know. So so Lou by Lou is basically doing accessories, like unisex accessories, bags and like pockets and all those kind of thing. And okay, so you were not actually a designer.
Yeah.
Exactly, I love that. But I know there's something we can't hide in your family, that I'm sure mommy somewhere was like doing things, you know.
Yeah,
so you got that inspiration from that to go and continue the business, like to make it to a family, I think. And we just got to know that the business also supports like young Nigerians back home to grow and everything. You create more shops, that's the most important. And with all what you said, I can feel that there's an attachment with your roots.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Podcast.
Yeah, you know, it's all about like amplifying African culture, you know, and just really translating the story in the Western world. Because, you know, with beads, it's linked to Yoruba culture, you know, it's linked to a tribe. So for that, it's like I want to educate the Westerners about my tribe in Africa and endorse it into the UK world. So that's what we've been doing, you know.
So, as you like an African rooted grown up in East London, which is one of the East London, the most strongest part in London. How did you adapt yourself? I mean, you grew up here, so there's not a way of like adapting yourself. But how do you transfer that culture to the Western world?
I think just being 100% you know, and that's what I do. You know, I carry my name with meaning. You know, and even growing up in the UK, my parents spoke Yoruba in the household. You know, we're always with our family. I've got a big family. You know, my dad come from a family of 10. My mum had 4 other sisters. So because my first cousin's born the day after me. So we're all very rooted, you know, in our culture, and you know, I celebrate that. I think it's a powerful thing to be authentic to yourself, where you're from, you know, and that's what I do. I endorse my culture and just put it on the map.
Podcast.
Okay, Louis, recently we've seen on social, we've seen one of your live, I think I was home on my day off, and I saw live. I said, Lou doesn't talk like that. Let me just see what's happening. You can see. My guy is always up to beautiful content outside on the street. But that day, I think it was even raining. The guy has a hoodie, and you're like, guys, there's something happening. I've been like, I said, wait. Anyway, so instead of me saying something that I don't really know, he's here for that. We recently had like a little bit of clash about certain brand copying your brand. You know, so what happened? At what step did you feel that you were being copied?
Wow, very good question. Yeah, it was a madness.
Because, you know, nowadays, when they say copy,
we're dropping the T. Dropping the T.
So, this is something happening, especially in most of the fashion industry,
music, any creative,
especially black young creative that are trying to bring to pull up something, and established brands
for sure
are taking them. So tell us about that. Yeah.
Mate, I remember I was in Milan
again
attending a few shows, and then I got a text from my friend. He just sent me a link, and then I open a link on Zara, and I see my designs, beaded bags, the same pattern, the same shape, the same shot, even how it's shot, same styling. I was like, no way. And then they put it on sale.
Again,
Violation. like, don't get me wrong. I feel like no idea is ever your own, but it was just too similar. And like, you know, when I design, obviously I take references, I do my research, you know, like I really dig deep, you know, even with like your search engine optimization, just to see that there's no product like it. You got to make it your own. So a Zara who sells like everyday wear, making accessories that are bead, it's like, come on, you know.
That's the little thing about that, yeah.
And for me, it wasn't even just the fact that they stole the work, but I wanted to just share the story, you know, the importance of it, like where big corporations take from young artists when they could really endorse the artists. That can create more jobs, more opportunity. They're able to tap into their culture by really investing in the artists, you know? So I think when they just take it, and it has no meaning, because like I said, in my culture, the beads have significant meaning, you know? And even in the science terminology, they radiate, they matter. It creates, the pattern of the circle, which is the flower of life, is positive vibration. So when big corporations use our African products and commercialize it with no story behind, that is like theft, you know?
Yeah.
So I think just in that, you know, it did give me a sense of purpose. Like, cool, we're on our way, we're doing our thing, you know, people are really seeing, you know, and even with the post, it got a lot of engagement, you know, we grew a massive audience, which was amazing, you know, and people can relate. It's quite common. Yeah,
because I think there's a lot of Africans that's been going through that kind of issues. It's just that maybe you put it out, you know.
Yeah, of course. Like it happens like very regularly, you know.
But how do you think this should be done? Like you say, like endorsement, like collaboration with young artists like that. Do you think it should be done that way? Like when you the young African like put something together and create. You think what should be the right way for those established brands to get in touch with those artists to like do an endorsement and a collaboration? Do you think that's how it's supposed to be? What would be if you were owning like an established brand? How would you have done about that? How would you go about it?
Well, the first thing I would say to a young designer is to patent your work. So it's to cover the copyrights, any designs, you register it. So that's the first thing to do. And then for the big corporations, I think it's really connecting with the young artists, because we're the next up, we're the next generation. So, you know, creating jobs opportunities, or let's see if you see a really cool artist, like reach out to them, you know, give them a platform, give them a voice. Because even at Lou by Lou, as young as we are as a business, it's all about creating jobs and opportunities. You know, I outsource so many young creatives to bring them in my project, and I give them ownership in what they do, you know, and any way that we can support one another, because we get commissioned to do projects for like Kickers or Adidas. So if there's a way that I can incorporate your creativity, I'll give you a job, you know. You'll be the first forefront, you know, because it's a circular economy. If you do well, I do well. So and you know, I think even with little means you can still do something. It's not even sometimes about like financial gain. It's about the opportunity and the experience, because that's how you can carry forward the next generation, you know, by teaching them, you know, giving them the learnings, giving them the tools that can endorse a whole new wave of creativity.
We Talk Podcast.
So how do you see social media nowadays in the implementation of social media in our creativity right now?
Well, social media is a tool. You know, it's a tool for creativity. The fact that you can just pick up your phone and you amplify a message is powerful. You know, you can connect. You can go anywhere in the world through a scroll. You know, so I think it's important, and the way you can market your product. Like I get a lot of my sales through social media. You know, which is, and I use it in a positive way. Mm-hmm. However, it is quite. There's no copyright. There's no barriers between, you know, even like if you're a public figure, people can just be in your comments, DM you. There's no filter. Mm-hmm. But I think it's important to kind of do in real life experiences. Mm-hmm. So we had an event at a venue called Lost at the old Odeon Cinema, and it has like 8 rooms. We've done like a house techno groovy, you know, throwing it back to the old days, you know. But I feel like creating like in real life experiences is what makes the difference, because you're sharing those moments, you're sharing those experiences, rather than just like posting a picture kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's all about really connecting people to in the real life. Because if Instagram shut down today, do you know what I mean? Like
I know that's the thing, because we've kind of like locked into something.
Podcast.
Yeah, I know you were active high fashion. Yeah, we know that. But now the switch to like a more of a social media content creator, and like, because I felt that you are more like you were brand on yourself, and you producing work and producing talent. So you feel like more you're like a company on your own. You're like a brand, like in one word. So is that why you can still be model? Are you still a model?
I still model. Yeah.
But with the way things are shifting now with like social media and all that, I've seen that you converted yourself into like a content creator as well. So yeah,
for sure, yeah. Like you said, with social media, it's a tool.
So all of you guys have been forced actually. You really say? Oh
forced. Now we're moving with the times, man.
Yeah. And funny enough, you guys doing it well.
Yeah.
You know, the transit is very good, and like, you know, so the
trajectory. Yeah, I feel like, you know, we're in a digital era. And, you know, now it's from being a model to like having dinners and sitting down with a brand. It's like a different conversation. Do you know what I mean? Before, I was more like a canvas. And now even these brands are having conversation about my product or how we can interject it or integrate it. You know, so now I even do like white label stuff where I produce for these big corporations. You know, and it's just different.
So actually, you prefer being a content creator or a person out on social media than being a classic model?
I think
there's a benefit to that.
Yeah, of course. Like you have access. You know what I mean? Through content, you have access. You know, and you learn like the briefs.
According to tell you, I like being pampered.
Yeah. So there's this. You know, this interview. I'm gonna produce luxury.
You say, bro, I like being pampered, you know?
Yeah.
The content when you're doing, you're being pampered.
Yeah.
You were in the modeling, you were going to stand for a queue for like 2 hours.
It's true. It's soft life. It's soft life.
Yeah, he made a point. So yeah, but I mean, congratulations to all of you guys. You guys are doing well. And we are wondering also, you keep up like with all things you are doing, because you are, I mean, a creative and you are full of talent, and I see that it doesn't refrain you to explore all sides of your creativity. Now we're gonna talk about the art side, direction, painting, curating, and facilitator. Just after the break. Yeah.
We Talk Podcast.
So let's talk about you being like a curator and a facilitator. You know, these are words that we usually meet in the art industry. I will just try me right now. A curator is a person that is like giving a theme to a particular or a specific exhibition. Is that how I can define it, curator?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. So I would define a curator as, let's say a project or a brief comes in, and you curate the vision or the art or the artistry of the profile of the artist. That could be within wellness, it could be dining, it could be art, it could be fashion. It's just amplifying the vision of the art and curating the similarities of each individual brand or entity.
So have you found yourself curating most of your job, or have you curated any other people's jobs?
Yeah.
Project.
Yeah, for sure. Like I've done a few pop-ups because I run a gallery called Gallery of Objects in Italy. So co-founded with a partner of mine. And what I do, I install a lot of the fashion projects in there. So we've put together a lot of sample sales, pop-ups, events, all sorts really, you know.
And at the same time, a facilitator.
Yeah, exactly.
A facilitator is someone that facilitates. Okay, I'll put it that way. A facilitator is someone that put through a project or
exactly.
Make a link between galleries.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not bad, you know.
That is really good.
We Talk Podcast.
So you've born and bred in London. You've developed all your activities in London. What do you think about the creative scene in London? That's a question.
That is a question.
Because bro,
that will be dropping tears.
Yeah. And tomorrow people will see you. They will pass you at the event. They will say, "Oh, this is that guy." You know.
Hopefully,
bro, what do you think? I heard that you guys are so fake.
No, be real. No, to be honest, I feel like London creative scene. There's a lot of opportunity, you know, for sure, and you can surround yourself with the right people. But however, I do find like London is very different to like people in New York. Like New York people, they will support you to the fullest. Like, oh my God, you're doing good. I'm gonna connect you with this, and they'll put you on. Whereas like London creatives, I feel like they'll support you when you're doing well. Do you know what I mean? And for me, it's like I feel like you kind of like one thing I commend about you. You're kind of helping people that are doing okay, but like they're on the come up, because that will really create like leverage forward. Do you know what I mean? So, but I think like London is a great city. You know, a lot of opportunity. You can really create more. And I think like in terms of like the activations, events, there's so much happening. You know, every day is a different day. Is that
not because of the system? Maybe just the system is made as such, or.
We Talk Podcast.
We wish you all the best in whatsoever you're doing and what you've started. The great job you've started, and we hope that you inspire a lot more people. And that was Lou by Lou on We Talk. Thank you for watching us, and don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel on We Talk the podcast, and follow us on Instagram on We Talk .podcast. And I think I'll cut you. That was it, Lou. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you, Angel, man.
And
honestly, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for everything. Thanks for what you're doing. You know, I feel like you're putting people on the map, man. And
I'm trying.
Keep going, bro. More and more elevation, bro.
Subscribe.